Yeah, I guess maybe walking into someone's house just out of the blue is probably not the best of ideas. What do we got here? Southeastern portion of the hive. Okay, that's where she said to go look. Centaur Man! Centaur Man! Let's go ahead and save. What do we got here? It's like a bar. Warehouse. Okay. Moving from box to box, the man seems to be totally immersed in counting boxes and scribbling results down on a piece of parchment. He looks annoyed as you interrupt him. What is it now? Can't you see I'm busy taking inventory? Go bother someone else. No, I didn't mean to interrupt. Farewell. All these people are like, get out of my house! Please. Listen, I'm used to so many RPGs that you just go in and, you just walk on the side and then everyone's like, oh, hey, how you doing? You see a tired-looking woman dressed in tight leather bodice and leggings. The odor of cheap perfume surrounds her like a cloud, and her face is covered with a mask of crude makeup. She smiles as she sees you. Why don't you stay and chat with me a bit, love? Greetings. The woman looks coyly at you. Now you look to be a blood who's lost something. Mayhap I could find it. She smiles slightly. Oh? What good fortune. We probably lost what we're looking for back at your kip, miss. Maybe you can help me find what I'm missing, miss. Her tone becomes businesslike. I love now there's the matter of finder's fee. No, never mind. Farewell. Your loss. When you get tired of losing things, you know where to find things. You find some things, love. Come and see me. Chief, can you support me some jink? It's been a long time. I'm not even going to ask how you intend to accomplish this. The woman breaks in. It's twice the cost for the Mimir, or any other degenerate. Mimir? Mimir's a talking encyclopedia. That's me, Chief. I see. Well, don't sweat it, Morte. From the looks of her, I'm probably saving you from dying twice. Let's get out of here. Farewell, miss. Wow. Damsel in distress. You see a pretty young woman. Her hair is in disarray and the bodice of her dress is torn. She looks about in desperation, then notices you. Greetings. She runs up to you and grabs your arm. You notice the front of her dress is stained with blood. Help me, Cutter. Please, they're killing my sister. She begins to tug on your arm. Who? She looks around wildly. The drunken man who followed us from one of the taverns. We thought he meant no harm. Please, there's no time. Help us. Wait, first you said they were killing your sister, and now you say he is killing her. Which is it? She stares at you, unsure of what to say. I'm distraught. I made a mistake. She glances at the blood that stains her dress. Please help me. Yeah, that's definitely a trap. Yeah, I'm sorry. Examine the blood on her dress. You glance down her dress and look at the blood. Although it does appear to be real, it is completely dried. It must be hours old. That blood is hours old. What are you up to? Her eyes flick to the bloodstains and back to you. You can think you hear a hint of nervousness in her voice. You're mistaken, Cutter. Please help me. My sister lies dying while we tarry. You're up to something. Tell me what's going on or I'll kill you. She looks into your eyes and glances up at the scars that cover your body. She swallows nervously. You see her pale before your eyes. I'm supposed to lure people into the alley nearby. They're waiting there to take your jink. She looks at you apprehensively. Let me give you some advice. She gazes at you in silence and nods her head. Don't pick someone like me as your mark. Choose some drunken fop who looks like he's never seen a battle in his life. She nods once curtly, and makes sure he looks like he has more than a couple coins to his name. Now get out of here. It was a trap!
Have you got the kid?
I was gonna say, this guy's stalking me over here? It's an evil run? No, it's not evil. It's more of a neutral run, if anything else. Let's go ahead and save. We did avoid the trap. What's this place? Smoldering Corpse Bar. Well, that sounds... Oh. Yup. Yup. More guards come to play.
Did you see that? Die.
Do. Oh.
Done.
Orte, you're up. Grab the stuff.
Okay.
Here we go. What the?
Die. I'm hurt.
You are. I can see this. I can walk into his buddy now.
Okay.
Too dangerous to rest here. Alright.
Come see the burning man. He's on the spit. You'll love it. You, sir, come on in.
Come see the Burning Man! Yep, that's a Burning Man. That's definitely a Burning Man. This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above an iron grill upon the floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body, and the flames lick at the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal frame. Examine the corpse. The heat surrounding this creature is incredible. To your surprise, the iron grill the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first you thought the heat came from the grill, but now you realize it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the writhing corpse and float slowly to the ceiling. Greetings. The thing makes no response. It rips slowly within the flames. It lives, but it does not seem aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin is aflame. Its heart is flame. You know within some shadow corner of your memory that this thing is dangerous. Alright, we'll leave it alone. Dangerous, you say? There we go, we can rest here. I've rested for 1 day. This is a woman with fading bruises on her face and arms and a look of despairing longing in her sunken eyes. She might have been pretty once, but those days were long gone. Or long ago. She turns slowly to face you. Life pours into her features, and the spark of sardonic light that dances in her eyes now makes you wonder if her eyes were deceiving you. Welcome to the smoldering corpse, scarred man. Who is that burning by the entryway?
Updated my journal.
That despair you saw in her face before flits across it again like a black-winged shadow before she musters herself. That's Ignis, one of the greatest wizards ever to come out of the slimy excuse for a cesspool. They caught him and they opened a channel to the plane of fire through him, and now he's just a doorway for it, keeping himself alive by force of will alone. If someone could douse him for a few moments, it'd give him his life back again, but they don't make enough water to do that. What's your connection to him? Her voice practically throbs with a deep ache. I was Ignis's lover, and he my beloved. He loved the flame more than me, and now he has become the flame. And because I love him, I love the flame. But that's all done with now. Now I wait for him to douse himself. I sell what little I have just so I can be near him. Very well. Answer some other questions? I'm looking for a collector by the name of Farod. Have you seen or heard of him? Farod, she snickers. The Collector King? You can probably find him by his stinking ilk in the trash warrens on the far side of the hive. Good luck in getting any answers from him. He's a sly devil, he is. I understand. Farewell. Ah, okay. Barkus! You see a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal. His eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and chipped. You again? What do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something now? You was in here about 15 years ago. Got all bubbled up and smashed up the place. And left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages, so you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins together, with 15 years of interest. You've got another 500 coins? You got the jink, pal? I got your eye. No, I'm not interested right now. Answer some other questions for me instead. Hurry up, will you? I got paying customers. I'm looking for Farod the Collector. He turns and spits on the floor. Farod? Pfft. You may as well just turn your back and let him sink the dagger in it. Though from the looks of you, you already have. If you're dead, sit on finding Farod. Pardon the pun. Talk to Ebb Creekness over there. He should know something of value. I'll do that then. You answer some more questions for me. You tell me about the patrons here. I don't make it a point. I don't make it a point to interfere with the lives of the people who give me their hard-earned jink unless they ask me to. So, over there is Kandrian, Planewalker. He's a good one to talk to about any planewalking questions you might have. He's been pretty much everywhere. Down there is Ebb Creekness, an old Harmonian basher. Don't hold that against him. And a tout. He's got a good heart in him, and he knows Sigil up and down. Them fiends over there are Ethelgrin and Tergarin. Word of advice, don't deal with them. They might be low rankers in the field of in the fiend hierarchy, but they're still fiends. Then you got Ilquix over there, not trustworthy, and some mercy killers looking to put for some poor sod. Dakin the Gazari is a mystery to me. Don't know much about him. He don't talk much. Finally you, interested in earning some free bub? Yes. There's a bubber over there against the far wall hanging about in the shadows who's been trying to work up her courage to slip out without covering her tab. I want you to make sure she don't do that. You do that, you get free bub here for life. I'll do it and I'll let you know when I'm done. Person in the corner, huh? That's me in the corner. You see someone dressed as a female dustman with a half-empty glass in her right hand. As you near her, she calls out to you, you, over here. You notice there's something wrong about her, and her exposure to the dustman leads you to believe that she's just too lively to be a real member of the faction. Alright, we'll approach her. Hey, Cutter, buy a lady a drink? Well, Barker says it's time for you to settle your tab. Pay up. She jumps a little, and her nervous tension becomes full-fledged anxiety. What are you going to do? Ask you to pay up now. I can't afford it. Can you spot me just 10%? I'll give it to you. Give it to him, and he knows I'll pay the rest. How much do you need? I think I need about 100 coins to get started on the debt. Poison or drink with the embalming fluid? Jesus! Wow! Can you think of another solution? Another way to pay? She smiles sadly. You could always, kill me. I could, but I'd rather find another solution. She looks at you for a moment longer, swaying where she stands. Alright. Did you want something else? The game's perfect for an evil run. Yeah, oh yeah. They have a lot of different mixtures of stuff you can do in this. Yes, some answers. You're not really a dustman, are you? She looks around nervously and seems to sober up. Why, do you say that? Because you don't act like a dusty, and you're not offering contracts. In fact, you're taking money in instead of giving it out for corpse labor they do at the mortuary. She stipples a squeak of terror and hastens to explain. No. I'm not a dustman. I just found these robes in the street, and I didn't have enough money to get good clothes, and I, heard there was a dustman thief around. But you could probably find him somewhere else in the southwest part of the hive. I saw him, but I hid from him. Please don't hurt me. I'm not planning on it. You ought to know that you're not pulling it off too well. Let's see. Who are you? Me? I'm Mokai. I'm just like to drink here, and she loses her train of thought momentarily. I'm just a person, you know. I see. Farewell then, Mokai. Do. Oh. You see a man standing stock still. He isn't moving muscle. On closer examination, it appears he isn't even breathing, just standing. His eye sockets are empty holes in his face, contained within their bounds in a flat gray light that seems to dance with possibility. Looking into the sockets, the eerie, empty feeling of a limitless void shivers through you, as if you had gazed into a sliver of eternity. The head slowly swivels towards you. You notice that no muscles appear to move under his skin as he turns, and he speaks in a pure bell-like tone. Well met, wanderer. You have forgotten again, have you? Do you know me, stranger? As he opens his mouth, you get the feeling of eternity again. Inside his mouth, you see no tongue, no teeth. It's almost as if the man wears shells surrounding a illimitable expanse. I have spoken with you before, and always you forget. Your endless quest to discover yourself ends always in your amnesia. You draw close to the truth and recoil. Let's hope that you have the strength to endure your existence. What do you know of me? How do you know this? I know that you, like a fly, rise up from the wreckage of your old shell, buzz about for a time, and curl up and die at the window of truth. You bumble about the pain, seeking the light without any plan to your actions, and fall exhausted when you fail. You alight on others to feed from them from a time, and move on with no regard to them. I have watched you come here and listen to your words, and watched you move away no wiser. Will you learn from your mistakes? Who are you? I am O. For some reason when he speaks his name, it sounds like he's speaking of much more than a single letter, as if the speaking of his name contained unfold possibilities and nuances. No human tongue could ever create such a sound. What are you? It is my name. It is the name of a portion of eternity. I am a letter in the divine alphabet. Understanding me leads to understanding existence. I am written the true names of half of everything. My being encompasses truth. I am mathematic, organic, metaphysic. So what does that mean? The divine alphabet is written the name of everything that exists from the seed at the hearts of the eternal elemental planes to the core of the great beyond. My brothers, sisters, a single word translate into the two in your mind. And I reach across all that is, was, or ever shall be. We are thought and reality, and concept and the unimaginable. So what are you doing here? Why, I am watching the ebb and flow of mortality. And what do you see? You mortals are like wasps. You build your lives, nest from the slimmest of branches, and then when the wind shakes your home life free, you seek to sting the wind to death. Instead of realizing your foolish mistakes, attempting to repair the damage you have caused yourselves, and learning from your experience, you bring harm to any who have the misfortune to blunder near you in your time of pain and distress. My advice to you and all mortals, stop acting like an insect and start acting sentient. I'll think about that. In the meantime, answer some more questions for me. What is the wish you know? Come to think of it, nothing. Who's this guy? Dakon. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you all right?
Hail, traveler.
He says nothing for a moment, merely scratches your face with his eyes. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail.
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
You could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Dakon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. Well, I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his coal black eyes. I would know why you have come to this city. I'm looking for answers. I have many questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. What is that blade you have? It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. Karak? What does that mean? Dakon falls silent for a moment, as if searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. Shape it with their thoughts? Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface, and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. What rank does the blade signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthamon. In knowing the words of Zerthamon, they know themselves. Zerthamon? Zerthamon founded our race. He knew the Gesari before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. Okay. Let's see if he knows Farad. Do you know a man named Farad? I am told he knows something about me. This one is not known to me. Okay. I don't think he's going to know where my journal is. You seem to have a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean? All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself? When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. Dakon pauses. It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. Do you know yourself? Dakon falls silent. His cold black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. I ask again, do you know yourself? When Dakon speaks again, his voice has changed. His words echo like a great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he is forcing the words from his chest. It is not my will that you know this. Perhaps I was being too kind, phrasing it as a question. Tell me. Words come out of Dakin slowly, as if they're being carried one by one. It has come to pass I do not know myself. Why? Dakin's voice drops to a whisper like sand. I do not know why. I know it has happened, but I know not the how or the when, nor how to know myself once more. Okay, then. I guess we could ask. I've lost a journal. Do you know where it might be? The location of such a thing is not known to me. Yeah, I've had a feeling that was going to be the case. Can you tell me about this city? It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as a city that does not know itself. It doesn't know itself? What do you mean? The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. You speak as if the city is alive. It may not be aware and know itself in the sense that you or I might know ourselves, but it lives, it grows, changes, and touches the minds of all that live here. Okay. I think there's nothing to be said. Very well. As you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you have heard his tone change since the conversation. Hold! The man's voice levels up. This city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. Well, I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well, let's go.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Endure and enduring, grow strong. Oh, cool. Alright, so we've got our first party member. Dakon. Alright, let's go see if we can talk to this. Who's this guy that was supposed to know? Here he is. Creeknees. Eb Creeknees. You see a slightly stooped old man with a full gray beard and a lion's mane of gray hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armor, and he keeps a helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe and carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble. Well now, aren't you a sight, lad? Never have I seen so many scars blanketing a fellow, like a scar cloak where you're wearing. Where you been hanging out in the grain thresher? Oh, I'm just jesting with you, lad. No offense meant. I hope no offense taken. I'm Eb. He stands his head. Well, greetings, Eb. His handshake is firm. Now, I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting, lad. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard or two or something to smooth any ruffled feathers? Why not? That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment. He rises to his feet and heads to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards. Here you go, lad. Drink up. He takes a massive swallow from his own tankard, puffs on his pipe, and says, What can old Eb do for you on this fine Sigil day? Well, I had some questions about this place. Oh, well, I gather that. Just to look at you, I mean, you don't look like you're from around here. Around these parts, lad. You look a little too out of the sorts to be a seasoned native. Eb chuckles, then takes another drink. So what can I help you with, lad? You need to know the lay of the land? Yeah, tell me how the city and its environs work. Eb laughs loudly. You don't think small, do you? If you want to know what outside the city, go talk to Kandarian Ilborn over there. He's the traveler of this place. As for the rest of it, well, I can tell you of the lady, the Dabas keys, and portals, the way we keep track of time, the way the city's laid out. What was it you wanted to know? The lady? Well, now, not many know much about her, lad. And I'm figuring even those that know more a little don't know too much more. She's a mystery, she is. And even should you run across her, powers forbid, she's silent and deadly. She's not evil, far as I can tell, but she keeps the dark about herself and Sigil pretty tight. None's been able to penetrate it, and if they have, they've been mazed. Mazed? What do you mean? Aye, sometimes bloods will be packed off to a place where they can't do no harm. The lady, see, she'll take a bit of Sigil and make a little dimensional pocket out of it. A maze. She places those that have crossed her in there and lets them rot. Ed puffs his pipe. Now, you can't escape getting mazed once the lady sets her gaze on you, lad. She'll get you eventually, no matter how hard you try and dodge her. You'll be walking down an alley or about to step through a portal or take a left turn down a street you've gone many fold times before, and suddenly you're someplace you don't recognize. Now, mazes aren't escape-proof. There's always a way out of each one. A portal lady places there. You just have to figure out where it is and how to use it. Well, I had some other questions then. Alright, let's see here. Do you know someone named Farod? Farod? Eb frowns, takes the pipe from his mouth. Now, lad, what do you be wanting with a Burke like Farod? I think he stole some of my belongings. Oh, no doubt, lad, no doubt. Eb grumbles, chewing on his pipe. You have to chain up everything around that grasping little spider. He should have been one of the fated, the way anything not chained down slips into his parlor. Don't give him a yard or he'll take a league, eh? So what do you know about him? Well, now I don't know everything there is to know about old Farod, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track down that spider and nail him into a wall, then I suppose I could spill some of the chant, so you know what you're tangling with. He pauses to tamp his pipe. Farod dug his nest deep into Ragpicker Square not too long ago, got a bunch of collectors and gangs together, and started what one could almost consider a collecting faction. Be that as it may. Where can I find him? Well, lad, if you're looking for Farod, which I would say is pretty balmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. You want to be finding Ragpicker Square. Chant is that Farod set up his kip somewhere in the square. Even an old fellow like me, who's been around the ring a few times, don't even know exactly where. I figure that Farod wants to keep the dark on his location. If you're all bound and determined to find Farod, go to Ragpicker Square and try to dig up Farod's location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, since there's plenty in the square that would make a gut hop out of you as soon as you look at you. I see. Well, thank you, and farewell. Alright. Ragpicker Square it is. What do I got for weapons right now? I've got the scalpel, I got the pry bar. I also got a hammer, a crescent hatchet. Okay. The southwestern portion of the hive, okay. Northeastern portion. I need a shop more than anything else. Oh, here we go again. Alright, let's grab more to grab that stuff.
That spider comes in the burning man, trying to put him out. Buy him a drink, he's thirsty. He's on fire. He's a red hot. Come on in. Come on in. See what I mean?
Man is draped in filthy, tattered brown robes, a long hood concealing his face from view. Greetings. You see his narrow eyes beneath his hood. He takes a step back. What do you want? I had some questions. He raised an eyebrow. I've some for ye. And like what did you want to know, and how badly do you want to know it? I'm looking for a man named Farod. Look around you, Cutter. I don't make enough jink to go lighten up the dark for nothing. He'll take a bit of coin if he wants the chance. Okay. We'll put 10 copper into his palm. Ask you a question. I can't say I can help, but I might. Now, I'm looking for a man named Farod. His eyes narrow. Farod, what about him? Do you know where he is? I know where the rat bastard isn't. He ain't where most of the collectors call Kip and Ragpicker Square. But that he's close by there somewhere is the chance. Do all collectors share your opinion of Farod? Farod. He spits, sneering contemptuously. Ragpicker Square is Sharegraves, me boss territory, you see. Farod and his dogs came in a whiles back and tried to oust us. We fought 'em off, we did. So they're all in hiding somewhere now. We still catch one of his lads now and around the square. Usually we turn him into our quick spot, a jink at the mortuary. The pike and sods. Tell me about Sharegrave. He's me boss. Casts a shadow over a whole mess of collectors, he does. I stay away from him unless you got some right good cause to talk to the man. I've never spoken with him personally myself. Alright. That's all I wish to know. What's this place? What do we got? Tattoo parlor. You see a tall creature with a shock of white hair. It has skin as greenish cat. Its skin has a greenish cast, and a pair of goat horns protrudes from its forehead. It's dressed in long flowing robes. Let's take a look around the place first. The design seems to be of a shadow casting a shadow. The silhouette of the shadow makes it unclear whether it's a man or a woman.
All right.
And go in the back here. Human skin has been stretched across these wooden frames. The skins are covered with tattoos. Oh good, human skins. Lovely. Looks like a clock, but no numbers or hands. Alright. A series of symbols materializes above the creature's head. The symbols have a slight glow about them, and they just hover there. Oh, for power's sake, it's a piking Davis. What's wrong? He's a Davis. They speak in rebusses. These annoying word puzzles. If you don't know what he's saying, then we better find a native or some other way to communicate with him. If we want to, an annoying bunch, my bet. They can speak just would rather piss everyone else off by trying to puzzle out what they're saying. What's a Davis? Chant is they're janitors for the Lady of Pain. They float around breaking, fixing, patching up sigil according to their whims. They're worse than corpse flies, Morty sighs. You can't swat them, though, or the lady will get upset. Lady of Pain, who's that? She runs a city. You'll know if you see her. She got these blades around her face. She's about the size of a giant, and she floats off the ground just like these guys. Morte nods at the Dabbas, who is looking at you both. Nobody knows much about her. She doesn't speak much. All you need to know is that you don't want to make her angry. If you see her, my advice, run. Hold a moment. You said Dabbas float, right? This one's walking on the ground. Morte glances at the Dabbas and his eyes widen. I knew you goat heads could walk. I knew it! Morte turns gleefully black to you. Ah! This one must not be aloof enough to get off the ground. Maybe so. The Dabbas waits patiently, its hands tucked into its sleeves. A series of symbols materialize above its head, then dissipate and a question mark appears. Alright, let's see. Dawkins, can you translate? Dawkins nods. Ask him who he is. The Dabbas inclines his head slightly, and a lone symbol appears above his head. It is blurry at first, then resolves in a white oval with a black lightning bolt through it. What'd he say? He's known as Fel. I had another question I wanted to ask him. I feel like I know you, Fel. Fel bows reverently, and a stream of symbols swirl about his head, rotating clockwise and then counterclockwise. What'd he say? He has split his speech with a contradiction. Dawkins pauses for a moment, his black eyes swimming across the symbols. He says it is the first time you have come to him. He says it is the first time you have come to him. He says this is not the first time you have come to him. Does he know who I am? You are known to him, but he cannot tell you what you want to know. Why not?
Updated my journal.
In a place of an answer, he surrenders an apology for his silence. Dakin pauses for a moment. When he speaks again, his words are like ice. He says he cannot change the nature of a man. As Dakin repeats these words, you feel a terrible pressure in your head and fades with the last word. I had another question I wanted to ask him. He mentioned he had met me before. Does he know how I died? Shadows. Shadows? The three symbols swirl about each other, each leaving a faint black misty trail about them. They take on a ragged edge like teeth and talons and multiply. Three split into three, then three again, until the entire room seems covered with a swarm of shadows. He says, many shadows came for you. Their reason for taking your life is not known to him. Okay. What about the frames in the back of the room? This is his gallery, he says. He says that he knows you are as his canvas. He shows respect to your strength with admiration. Then he insults you by giving you his pity. His pity. He pities you for the scars torment has left upon you. He says that you have endured, and enduring you have grown strong. What does he mean? He says his admiration is known through your enduring of loss. He says loss hangs upon you like chains, yet you stand and walk. All right, tell him to go on. He says loss covers this life, and all the ones that have come before. He says you molt like a serpent, leaving these lives behind you as you walk. All of lives pass. They say anything else? He would have you know this warning. Each of your lives casts a shadow on existence. Your path will take you to a place where the shadows do not know themselves, and the walls are made of regrets. I see. He says, do not sign anything. Very well. Alright, let's see here. He asks you if you know yourself to be complete. Well, be truthful. I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up in the mortuary, I feel like something's missing, something inside. Fell nods, and a series of symbols materialize in a halo around him. What do you say? He pays respect to your strength. He tells you to keep faith and know you shall know yourself again. Oh, well, that's all I wish to know. Thank you, Fell. Alright, so Smoldering Corpse Bar is there. The southwestern portion, okay. Northeastern portion of the hive.